Okay, so at the moment, anybody can ban a user or delete a user, anybody who is logged in. And this is definitely not correct. We shouldn't let simply anybody ban or unban or delete another user. We should make it so that only some specific users can access these links and actions. So, for example, admins. We can make it so that admins can ban and unban and delete users, and other kinds of users cannot do these functions. So we would like to add an admin role to the user. But what if there are more roles? What if there are admins, teachers, students? So now we're going to make functionality for adding roles to users and selecting one or many roles for a user, just like this. We're going to make it so that we can edit roles for a user, make him an admin, a teacher, a student, or any other combination of roles. A user will be able to have one role, or he'll be able to have many roles. Now, again, here I've got a nice blog post based on which way I'm going to do it. And here we have all the sample code that you'll be able to use for any of your Ruby on Rails applications. So first of all, we're going to add a roles field to the user. Now, there is going to be just one field in which we're going to keep the information about all the user roles. So we're going to type Rails generate migration, add roles to user. Now I'm going to stop the survey, Control L. Let's see if there are any Git changes. No, there aren't. Let's type Rails generate migration, add roles to user. Okay, now let's go to DB, migrate, add roles to user. And here we are going to add this content. So dev change. So to the table users, we're going to add a column named roles. It is going to be of the type JSON-B. It's not going to be null, and by default, it's going to be the square braces for JSON. Okay, now let's run Rails db migrate. Okay, so next we're going to add a concern where we are going to describe the information on how to use these roles. So generally, it is something that can be even packaged into a gem in the future. If you turn this into a gem, it would be also cool. So now we're going to go to our modals. We're going to modals. And in our concerns, we're going to add a new file, and we'll name it rollable.rb. Well, rollable for like having roles. And in this concern, we're going to paste this content and have a look at what it is. Basically, we're going to set a list of roles. It will be admin, teacher, and student. You can add any roles that you like in the future. So it can be client or whatever. But for now, we will have admin, teacher, and student. And all this code is kind of the magic for turning it into such a form where they can be, where they are saved as a hash with either true or false. So admin true, teacher false, student true. And here we're going to have a couple of validations. So we're going to have a validation that a user has to have at least one role, and there has to be at least one admin in the application. Okay, now we've added this module rollable, and we say that we're going to use rollable for our user model. So in our user model, we're going to include this rollable. Basically, by saying include rollable, we inherit everything that is present in this module rollable. Otherwise, we could just take all this code and paste it here. But if we don't want to clog our user model with this code, we will just say include rollable in our user model. And here we will have all this role-based logic in this rollable concern. Okay. Well, now we are going to add this functionality for editing the user roles. So let's start our server, Rails server. And well, we're going to add a link to edit the user roles. Now let's see if the server is running. Yes, it is running. So in our user, where's our view, our views, in our user, we're going to add a new link. It is going to be equals link to edit roles, and the path is going to be the regular user edit path. Actually, we need to add this path to our routes. Here we have resources users. We're going to add the path to edit and to update. Okay, so we're going to have the path to edit user path at user. Okay, let's see if this path is available. Now I need to close the column. Okay, now we have this link to edit roles, but if I press, the action edit could not be found in the user's controller. So we are going to our controllers, users controller, and here we're going to add the action edit, def edit. And for edit, we also need to pass the user. So user find params ID. Let's refresh. Now it is missing a template. So we need to go to views, and in our user views, we will add a template for edit.html.erb. Now I will open and have a blank page that navigates to users / the user ID / edit. Okay, so now we need to add a form. Well, here also I have a saved form. Basically, it's a regular form for user. It's a regular form that you would have in any Ruby on Rails application. Then the regular error messages, and here we list all the user roles that are available in this rollable concern. So we list admin, teacher, student right here, and we give a checkbox to say either true or false for each of the roles. Let's add this code and see how it looks. We're going to edit, and here it is. We have the option to tick admin, teacher, or student. Let's try to submit, and the action update could not be found in user's controller. So we will add the action update, def update, and okay, the action update could not be found. Now it should be found. Okay, and we need to pass the user. Again, the action update could not be found. Let's go to users. Let's try to edit roles, update, and well, nothing happens because everything we do here is just find the user. So we need to add the logic for updating the user. So we will just, again, copy it from here. We will say that user update with user params, and if user update, redirect to the user, either run the edit with the errors. And importantly, we're going to add these user params. So in user params, we're going to permit the user roles. So by doing this, we say that in our form, we can edit user roles. We will just copy this and add it here, and move our user params to a private method right here. So here we have an edit action and an update action. If we pass user update, then we take our user params that are allowed and we update the user roles and redirect to the user with user was successfully updated. Otherwise, run the edit. Okay, let's see if it works. I press submit, and it says user was successfully updated. Let's edit the roles, and you see the admin role was saved. Now let's add one more role and press submit, and you see both roles were persisted. Now I will try to take all the roles away, and it says a user must have at least one role, and there should be at least one admin. We get these errors from our rollable concern. Here we have these two validations, must have an admin and must have a role. So looks good. Now we can edit user roles. Let's also display the user roles in the user profile. So here in the user page, we will display the roles. Now, here in this rollable.rb, we also passed an method called active roles. So here we will see all the active roles of a user. So let's go to our user partial and display the user roles. Now, where shall we do it? Well, let's do it again on the very bottom. I'll just copy something. And here we will have roles and user.active roles. And you see we get admin and student. Now I will edit roles. Let's make it only admin. And you see we get admin. Now you see we have these roles not in a very readable format. So we're going to make them more readable. We'll go to our user page, and here we will add join with a comma. So they will be separated by a comma and no such signs. Let's see if it works. I save, and here we have just roles, admin. Now I will add two more roles, admin, teacher, student. So looks fine. Now we can add roles to users. Let's see another user. He doesn't have any roles. I will press edit roles. Let's make him just a student. And he is a student. So looks nice. Just now we've added the functionality to add or remove user roles. But let's play some more with this. What if we go to just the user and show not just active roles, but user.roles? What will it give us? You see, it passes the whole JSON hash. We have admin, false, student, true, teacher, false. And here we are passing only the active roles. So the roles that are set to true. Let's edit the roles, add an admin, and we see he's an admin and a student, where he has admin true, student true, teacher false. And also we can add roles in our console. Let's switch the server off, Rails C to run the Rails console, and type user.first. And let's see. User first doesn't have any roles. So let's try to update his roles. Let's say user first dot update admin true. And let's type again user first, and we see he was given roles admin true. So by just typing user first update admin true, we set him to admin. We can also set him to teacher. So now he's both an admin and a teacher. And let's make him not an admin anymore. Let's make it user first, update admin false. Now, once again, we'll type user first and we see admin false, teacher true. So this way we can take roles away or give roles to users via the console. And that's it. Now, again, this is quite complex functionality, but it is still much easier than all the code available in any gem for providing roles to users. And this way we have just one field in which we can have an unlimited quantity of different roles for a user. So in my opinion, this is the easiest way to add roles functionality to a Ruby on Rails application in 2021. And again, what did we do here? We've added a migration to the users table where we added a roles field. Then we've added this rollable model in our concerns, in our models, concerns, rollable. And we've included it in our user model. Then in our user view, we added the link to edit the user path and to display the active roles. In the routes, we've whitelisted edit and update actions. In the controller, we've added the actions for editing and updating, and we've added the user params that are allowed, so the user roles are allowed, and we've updated the edit form. And that's basically it. Now, Let's have a look once again at this edit roles view. Okay, I will start the server. And we can just, well, make it look a bit better. So we can say like editing roles for the user and the link to cancel. Let's go to the form, and here we will say editing roles for add user. Okay, I need to pass this in the Ruby code. Editing roles for equals add user. And we'll pass user.email. Now, again, when we just pass add user, we are getting just this user relation. Not to get this relation, we can just add something to user.rb, like to string, so def to s, and here we'll pass email. Here we'll pass email, so that when we just call the user, so we call add user, we get the editing roles for, and we get the email of the user. Now let's put it into a header or whatever. Let's make it h2, for example. Editing roles for this user, and we'll also have a link to cancel. So the link to cancel will lead to the user path. Link to cancel and user path add user. So we have this text editing roles for the user, and we have the roles, we have the submit button, and we have a button to cancel. So looks fine. And now I'm just going to remove the unneeded code. We'll remove this at user roles, and I will commit the changes. And that's it. So again, everything is really well described in this blog post, and you can just copy paste the code from here without any worries. And feel free to ask questions.